Tired of searching for the right tire? Then you'll be glad you found Miller Brothers Tire Service. If it's round, rubber, and rolls, we've got it. Lawn and garden, agricultural and industrial, and everything in between. Miller Brothers is your one-stop super shop for everything tires and wheels. We offer the best service around, and we're family-owned and operated. And you know what? We're still going to be here tomorrow because we're on our second generation, and we've been here for 70 years. Give us a call or visit us online at millerbrostire.com for all your tire and wheel needs. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to a beautiful night for high school wrestling. Big Dan Wilson alongside of Nick Samentinger and Mark Law for tonight's wrestling feature between the Wapakoneta Redskins and the St. Mary's Rough Riders. Guys, it's nice to have you on board, and I want to give a big shout out first to Gail Miller, who brings us here tonight on TSC. Mark, we'll start with you. Let's talk about this match tonight between Wapakoneta and St. Mary's.
Yeah, as far as the matches go, you know, here's two of the best teams in the WBL over the last 10 years. I think out of the last 10 WBL titles, you know, I think Wapak's got 6 of them, and St. Mary's has 4 of them. St. Mary's had a nice run with Hisey twins a few years back. They went on a run of like 4 in a row, and then we were able to come back last year and get the title again. So, again, as far as the wrestling in the WBLs, these are 2 schools that are at the top of our league.
Nick, let's talk a little bit about what we expect to see here tonight. Obviously, what we're watching right now is the JV age group. Let's talk about the varsity age group and what we expect to see when that kicks off here in a few minutes.
All right. Well, we look forward to some fireworks. We have some returning state qualifiers and placers. For St. Mary's Memorial, you have Tate, who's a returning state champion, and Bo Hertenstein, who was state runner-up last year. And on Wapakoneta's side, we have Wyatt Buell, who's a state qualifier, and we have Caden Mellott, who is a state placer, 6th place in 2023. And I just think we're going to see a lot of really good matches. I know that the Little Kids in Robotics Club are going to be doing a pin to win, shooting shirts into the crowd, and we're honoring the alumni tonight, or it's already done at the beginning here, and should just be some exciting wrestling between 2 top quality teams and coaches.
Yeah, speaking of coaches there, Coach Gruber from St. Mary's, Nick and I were talking before the show here that we think he's been there for like 50 years, and he might be the only head wrestling coach St. Mary's has ever had. And he's just been around forever, and that, again, shows why they're one of the top programs. And then same thing with our coach. You know, Coach Rossiter has been here now for 28 years, 25 years as the head coach. And, again, having that experience, and that's why these 2 are probably 2 of the best teams in our league.
And historically, both teams, you know, you have Defiance, who dominated in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s, and then Wapak kind of came into the scene there. There's a little bit of a break with Shawnee in the late 80s. But Wapakoneta all-time in the WBL has 328 wins and 88 losses with 4 draws, 19 WBL titles, so this year they're seeking their 20th. And St. Mary's all-time, they're 242 to 174 and 4 draws, and they have 5 WBL titles. So just tonight you have 24 league titles since I believe 1971 is the first year of wrestling, Mark?
I think that's right. And you speak about our 19 titles that we have, and that means you know, we're 1 title away from tying Defiance, who has the most with 20. And looking at our schedule so far this year, I think we got 2 of our big matches out of the way early on in the year when we beat Salina. We beat Salina, what was the score, like 40 to 29, and then Defiance, we beat them 42 to 30. So there's 2 of the tough teams already that we've beaten already. So tonight's match will kind of give us an idea of where we're going to be sitting at the top of this league, hopefully, for the rest of the season.
You know, absolutely. And kind of going back to a couple of our wrestlers, the highlights for tonight, I do know that Tate Hisey is committed to George Mason University, which is Division I MAC school. And Bo Hertenstein committed Division II NCAA to Wheeling University. And I know there's been some rumors and talk about Caden Mellott going to Ohio Northern, following his brother's footsteps, Colin, up there.
Yeah, this is a senior year for Caden that he's at high expectations going into this season. Like you said, he was a state placer back in 23, had a really tough draw last year at the districts, but just has been a great wrestler in this program, you know, following his brother's footsteps, and he's done a lot of great things. Had won 2 or 3 tournaments already this year and is just really wrestling lights out.
Yeah, Caden went down to that GMV tournament down at Vandalia Butler, and that's a pretty tough tournament to go to, especially on the southwest side of Ohio, and it brings in some schools from Georgia and Kentucky, plus some top schools here in Ohio in all 3 divisions, and he walked away as a champion there at the 120-pound weight class. So it's a grueling tournament, and to take away a title, that's pretty impressive.
Also tonight for our broadcast, it's an alumni night, and it's nice to see some of these wrestlers coming back and watching the matches tonight. We have Jace Nouse up in the top row over there, who was a senior last year and was a state runner-up, and again, a state placer for us, for two-time state placer, and it's just nice to see these wrestlers come back and support the program.
Yep, absolutely. And, even shouting out to the alumni in general, here on our coaching staff, we have Tyler Shipp, who's a state qualifier. He's been a part of the program. Tyler Copeland, state placer. He's back as an assistant coach. Obviously, Jason Rossfer, he wrestled through the program and has been here for 28 years. Just a lot of commitment back. Even at the junior high program, we have Eric Samatanger's been helping out. Levi Cecil. Brett Miller makes his appearances in and out, along with Levi Cecil. And then, of course, Eric Beach, the head coach. He wrestled at Shawnee during those years at Shawnee, went on a little bit of a roar in the late 80s. But he's been here at Wapakoneta since I've been around.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, those 80s, that's when I was wrestling. Hank DeVoe was the head coach over Shawnee, and they had some really tough teams when Hank was over there, and they won like 2 or 3 league titles in a row, and they're pretty good wrestlers over there at Shawnee. Also, when I look through this crowd, Nick, I mean, how many years were you the junior high coach?
Total, I've spent 15 years as a middle school wrestling coach here at Wapak. And we were talking earlier, you had mentioned, you believe 92 might have been your first year coaching it.
Yeah, under Dan Davies, as far as varsity assistant goes, I was actually, my first year of coaching junior high wrestling was under Tom Hunter. I think it was like 89 maybe. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's been quite a few years. But it's amazing, you talked about Gail Miller in the opening, Dan, and how I think back of when Dan Davies, who was the head coach at the time, started the kids program here at Wapak, and what's it been, probably 33 years?
Yep.
Wow. And, and Gail's still a big part of that. And now with his son Brent, and I look at Brent and all those kids that started in our kids program, a lot of those guys are now the coaches, and they have kids in our young program. So shout out to our young program, because, again, that's when Dan Davies started that was the start of, Wapak being one of the top best teams in the WBL.
Right. And our program continues to grow and get stronger, and our goal ultimately is state championships down there in Columbus, and the individual and team. With the expansion of the wrestling room, the Dan Davies wrestling room out there at the football field gives these guys a chance to get out of the building and get away from noise and focus on what they do, lift out there, work out there, and continue to grow the program at not only the high school level, but the middle school and the kids wrestling program. And I do believe the kids wrestling program this year has about 125 kids out. So, and I believe 15 of those being girls.
Yeah, I was going to say, and the start of the girls wrestling, our junior high has, I think, 6 or 7 girls this year, 1 or 2 possibly on the high school, but girls wrestling within the last year or 2 is really starting to pick up. So I would say in the next 5 years, you're going to see a lot more teams in our area that have the girls wrestling team. When I go back and I think about this, and what Coach Rossford has put into this program, you talk about state qualifiers and what the goal is. And when he coaches, the goal is not necessarily a league championship. It's about wrestling down in Columbus and being a state qualifier. And, I think the magic number this year is like 32. We've had 32 years in a row with a state qualifier wrestling down in Columbus. And so the idea is that, our goal is to be a state qualifier down there. And if you work hard enough in the room to accomplish that goal, the league championship will take care of itself. Mm-hmm. So
absolutely,
those are the ideas that we have there.
Absolutely. And over the years, so we've mentioned 32 consecutive years with a state qualifier. How many of those were state placers? Or how many qualifiers have we had and how many placers?
We've had 78 state qualifiers over the last few years, last 30-plus years. 25 of those have been placers, and then we've had 3 state champs. And out of those 3 state champs, there were 2 of them that could have possibly been, a 2-time state champ. I remember Brent Miller's junior year had a semifinal match that kind of had a questionable call, and he ended up losing that match and ended up finishing third that year, and then came back the next year with revenge and just wiped everybody out. Was our school first state champion. So.
Well, looks like we're getting started with the action with sophomore Zane Russell, who's coming in right now at 19-2 for the season. What are some of the rule changes we had talked about earlier that has taken place that we'll see tonight?
You know, the biggest one is on takedowns. It used to be 2 points for a takedown. Now it's 3 points. So now they're trying to give the aggressor a little bit more advantage. You know, you take someone down, you kick him out, you don't want to be up 1 point. And we're now, you know, you take a kid down, you let him up, you're up by 2. And then the back point situation, it used to be like 2 and 3 back points. Now it's 2, 3, 4. So, I mean, if you take a kid down and put him on his back, you might be up, 7-0, within seconds of the match. And so a lot more offense, a lot more technical falls, but I think it helped wrestling be a little bit more exciting.
And the one other change that they've really done this year was the college out of bounds, where as long as you have some part of your body in bounds, that clock's going to continue to run, and you can pin and continue to score back points as well. Yeah,
just, again, trying to make wrestling more exciting, more like the college level, and I think it's definitely going to help out.
All right. So Zane Russell is wrestling Caden Mellott from St. Mary's, who's a freshman, right?
Yeah, and Zane's only a sophomore, and Zane had a really good year last year as a freshman. You know, was a district qualifier as a freshman last year. Wrestled really well in some tournaments this year. He's a high placer. He placed at the Coldwater. He placed at the Firebird tournament, and I think he was like third at the GMV. So, I mean, he's wrestling really well right now.
You know, and you mentioned the scoring changes. He's, as a sophomore early in this season, he's already sitting at 10 tech falls for the season. So he's definitely making some noise there, and I think the scoring changes really helped a lot on it, especially the back points.
Yeah, Zane's a very good wrestler on his feet. Scores a lot of points. Again, getting back points easy. He does a really nice tilt from the top that he uses, so he's come a long way.
Absolutely.
Again, typically, a lot of times you would have seen this have been called out of bounds right now, and now he's going to kind of call a stalemate here. Nobody can control. There's a nice setup. Zane in on a single leg, rotating to a double there. Now, here's where we'd like to see him take him right to his back. He's trying to get him right there. Got the takedown right at the end. Nice.
1.5 seconds left to score that 3. Takes an advantage 3-0. It's Wapak's choice. They must have odds on this in this duel.
Yeah, and it seems a lot of your top wrestlers, they're really good at the bottom getting out. So a lot of times they'll start the second period, either deferring or going down, feeling that, hey, I can get out from the bottom. It's an easy way to get a quick point. I think with the rule changes the way they are with the takedowns, though, I think you're going to see a lot more guys not take down as much because, with obviously a takedown, they can get that 3 instead of just getting a 1 for an escape. And it takes a lot of energy sometimes to work out from the bottom. There we go. There's his escape.
Zane Russell up 4-0 at the time. They're neutral on their feet here. Let's see if we can get some offensive moves going on.
He's got that over. He runs a pretty nice fireman sometimes. And, now if he snaps a guy down like this, he should be looking to run that front headlock or a go behind. There we go. That's what I like to see, a lot of motion and movement.
Yep. That's nice.
Yep.
3.
Yeah, that was very nice.
So typically right now, I mean, he'd normally only be up like by 2 or 3 points, where now he's up by 7. So
kicks him out, goes feet. 7-1.
Yeah, he's going to look for another takedown here. And, it might not be on this next takedown, but if he kicks him out again in that third takedown, he might be able to take him right to his back. Nice. Just a little go behind here. He's got 30 seconds. He's going to try to get another one here.
Sitting at 10-2.
I like the tempo and the pace, though. He's in the guy's face. He's making him work, and he's getting after it.
He's got about 24 seconds. See if we can get 3 here and go into the last period with a 13-2 edge.
Nice. Just keep going one to the next. Zane's got a lot of experience. He wrestled a lot in junior high. Went to a lot of camps over the summertime. And just his chain wrestling is really good, going from one move to the next move.
Yeah,
Counter one.
I'm impressed with his quickness.
Yeah.
Here we go.
There we go. Again, another takedown right at the end of the period. Yep. Nice call, Nick. All right, so going into the third period here, we're up 13-2.
The call chose neutral.
So tech fall basically he's going to put this pretty close to putting it out of reach for him. If you can take him right to his back, could be over.
When it comes to team scoring, how many points do you get for that tech fall, Mark?
5 points. So 6 points for a pin and 5 for a tech. Majors 4.
Yep.
And then a regular decision's 3.
When you're talking, big league duels and whatnot, those pins make a big difference. That 1 point is very crucial in setting up the rest of the duel.
And the opposite of that is not getting pinned. So a lot of times, we'll tell young guys that, but might be a freshman in the lineup or wrestling against a real good kid, say, hey, you might not be able to win the match, but let's not give up a pin, and just go out there and give it a fight.
When we get into between matches, I want to talk about a little bit of the conditioning these young men go through all the time, year-round. And some of the other sports these guys play.
Sucking that ankle.
There we go. Going to kick him out here, and one more takedown should wrap it up. A little drag by here. Oh, there we go. Come on. We'll go behind here, score a takedown. Snap down, front headlock.
Elbow deep right now. It's tough to, you're going to see that slide bar shuck there by the bottom guy. There we go.
Nice.
So that ends this match 19-3, a technical fall for Zane Russell and the Wapakoneta Redskins, putting them up 5-0 as a team.
Getting a plug for Coach Copeland, having him back, as a Wapak alumni and, a state placer. Having him back, he spent the last 2 years, or previous 2 years over at Allen East. And last year when Jared Sullivan decided to step down, Cope was able to come back and got hired in at the high school as a teacher. And I'll tell you, he's going to be a huge, huge asset for our program. Down the long run, I see him possibly being, the replacement for Coach Rossford when he decides to, turn it over to him.
And even for the bigger guys, we have Logan Erb back on the coaching staff, returning state champ and also a state runner-up. And I think a fourth-place finisher at one point, freshman year.
Oh.
So yeah, fourth, second, and first.
Yeah.
This here is sophomore Urijah Cordray. He's coming in right now 4-1. I think he was injured for a little bit. This is the 113-pound weight class. And he's wrestling Colton Ludicky, from a sophomore from St. Mary's.
Yeah, Uriah's got a lot of potential. I remember last year when he came in the room, and then he got hurt at the beginning of the year, or maybe right at the end of the football season, and was unable to wrestle last year. So here was a junior high kid that had a lot of expectations coming in as a freshman, and just didn't get out on the mat as a freshman. But this year he's really come out, and he's had some really impressive matches early in the season here.
It's a nice 3-point takedown there to put Urijah up 3-0.
As I mentioned, talk a little bit about the conditioning program that these guys go through.
Yeah.
You're both laughing at me.
Well,
it's kind of a rhetorical question.
We talk about conditioning and wrestling, and we've always preached that we like to have our kids competing. So, a lot of our kids play football, so really there's not a lot of wrestling conditioning going on for a lot of them. Maybe your smaller guys like Uriah and Zane McElroy and Caden Mellott, but most of anywhere from the middle of your weight classes up, most of our kids play football. So which we encourage, because we want our kids to be out there competing. And again, look at the football program that we have. Who wouldn't want those guys out there? Mm-hmm. So it's amazing to see that type of work that they put in.
Absolutely, yeah, it's tough. It's grueling, but when you think of a wrestling match, it's 6 minutes long, assuming there's no overtime, and it takes a lot out of you in that 6-minute match, and you really have to work. And to be honest, the conditioning goes beyond the wrestling room, the practice room. I mean, it's what these guys are doing outside of there, going to the Y, working out, or putting in extra time wrestling through conquest or whatever it may be. It just takes a lot of time and effort, and there's a difference too between the endurance and the running conditioning and the mat condition as well.
Yeah, that Wright did a nice job there. He got that takedown and ended up riding for the whole entire period. And if you're able to ride your opponent for a whole period like that, that just wears your opponent out. So he did an awesome job of just riding there the whole time. So leading, 3-0 after 1.
So we're starting the second period neutral.
Just got to work his legs back a little bit, and then he's got a chance to go behind here for a takedown. Get him off his leg. Now it's just a matter of spinning behind. There you go. Lift that ankle up. He's in a good position here. He's just got to use that front headlock. The guy's on his elbow a little bit. Maybe shuck by. There it is. The shucked him by. Goes up 6-0 with a nice takedown there. We'll see if he decides to kick him out or if he's going to ride him. Looks like he's going to kick him out.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to go to back work on his feet here, get another takedown.
So in the middle of the second period, we're currently sitting at 6-1 in favor of Urijah Cordray from Wapakoneta.
Nice crowd here tonight from both Wapakoneta and St. Mary's.
Absolutely. I think this is one of the nice things about the league duels. I mean, we always talk about the pros and the cons of having the duels, but when you do have these duels like this, you have a chance to bring in your student body and a lot of alumni and your parents, grandparents, and it's a shorter period of time and it gets a little bit of excitement. The one thing I miss about duels is when the teams would line up on the edges and they would do introductions before the match.
Yeah. Uriah got another takedown there, put him up 9-1, doing a nice job with that far wrist, just controlling the guy. Going to ride him out here at the end of this period. Looking for a possible turn if he can, but I think he's just going to ride him out.
Okay. So at second period, St. Mary's deferred to Wapakoneta, and Cordray chose neutral to get those takedowns, and this time it was St. Mary's choice, Ludicky's choice, or is it Van Gundy? I'm sorry. It might be Van Gundy.
No, it's Ludicky, yep.
Okay. And so in this case, he chose to take top in this period.
I think you are right. I think it is Van Gundy. I think
Jack Van Gundy?
Yep. You made the comment about Conquest. For those who don't know what that is, when Coach Copeland came back last year and started coaching here at Wapak, he started a club program called Conquest, which is basically for, our kids program all the way up through high school kids. And then basically it's in the off season. And there's also a few kids from out of town that come into our program and into his workouts, and they pretty much go year round. And I think you're only going to see that grow here in the next few years with Coach Copeland in charge of that. He's doing a great job.
Yeah, absolutely. When I was talking to him on Saturday at the middle school tournament, he had mentioned that he would like to put together a dual team and go wrestle some dual tournaments this summer. Maybe Vandalia, Butler, they usually host a summer club tournament, and then obviously your individual tournaments, Tournament of Champions or the Autism, Wrestle for Autism or Wrestle Against Autism tournament that they put on every year in Columbus. Just having the guys wrestle under the name of Conquest and try to go for the team titles there.
Uriah's got his arm right now. He's just trying to work to his feet to get a stand up and get out. If he can keep that control of that wrist and work his way out.
He's got to circle right. He's got to grab that wrist, put it over, and then circle out.
Yeah, Jackson Van Gundy's doing a pretty decent job of riding him out here.
Yep, going for that old three-quarter there. There we go, just stand up now. Just climb the body. So Van Gundy still has control with 37 seconds left in this match. Right now, Van Gundy's looking for a jam. He's trying to get under that left arm of Cordray and then jam him over. So Cordray has to be careful about coming up and exposing his chest.
Looks like he's pretty content right now. 12 seconds to go. Hopefully getting a point here maybe.
Well, that was a pretty interesting second stall call there. Awarding Van Gundy a point.
Oh. Yeah, so that 1 point, keeps it to a decision instead of a major there.
Yep, which then takes our team score instead of 9-0, it's 8-0 going into this third match.
Yep.
But still a good, hard-fought win for sophomore Urijah Cordray and the Wapakoneta Redskins.
You're watching high school wrestling here on TSC. I'm Big Dan Wilson, joined by Nick Samatinger and Mark Law. You guys are doing a fabulous job tonight. And we're seeing some good wrestling here at Wapakoneta High School. Up next, fellas.
All right, next we have Carson Pummel at 120. And he looks like he's wrestling Jax Van Gundy. Is that right?
Colton Ludicky.
Okay.
Sophomore Colton Ludicky.
Yeah, Carson had a great finish to the season last year. He ended up wrestling at sectionals. The guy that was the league champion and was a district qualifier by beating that kid from I think it was Van Wert maybe, that was the league champ. And Carson had a good finish to the season last year, was a district qualifier. So again, I think he's got some high expectations this year.
Well, currently Carson's sitting on the season at 7-4. He finished second at the Coldwater Invitational. He took an early lead here. Should be sitting at 6-1. Scoreboard showing 3-4, but I'm pretty sure it's 6-1 right now. Mark.
I think they might have given the St. Mary's kid the takedown.
There you go. Pummel's got him in a cradle.
But yeah, you might be right. No, they got a score 8-0. Is that what you said? 8-0?
Nah, that's team score. It should be 6-1 in terms of the match score, along with these back points are about to come this way here in a second. So since the referee got to that 4 count, he was awarded the 4 near fall, 4 back points, which is that change you were talking about earlier. In the past, a 2 count would get you 2 back points, and a 5 count would get you 3. Now it's 2 is 2, 3 is 3, and 4 is 4, and that's it.
Back in the day, we were always about taking guys down, letting them up, taking them down, letting them up. And I know in the last 3 or 4 years, especially when I was in the room here, we'd really started focusing a little bit more on riding and turning guys, And I have definitely seen us get a lot better the last couple of years, getting more back points, especially with, the change in the rules this year.
He's got the grapes.
Yeah, that's the way to put it.
A big pin for the Redskins before the first period expired, putting Wapakoneta up 14-0 as a team.
Wow.
Moving into the 126 class, Wapakoneta is going to be sending out senior Caden Mellott. And looks like he's going to be wrestling Declan Bruce, a freshman. Currently, Mellott sitting on the season at 19-0 with 9 tech falls, 8 pins. He's won the Firebird, the Coldwater, the GM tournament. He's a returning state placer from 23, finishing 6th.
And Caden's all go, man. If you've never seen Caden wrestle before, he's just, from the start of the whistle to the end of the match, he's just go, 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 go. He's always at it, moving. Look right there, takedown and a cradle right to his back. Might even get a stick right here.
He gets a pin. That's going to put him 13 away from tying Logan Erb for most pins in a career.
Yep.
Wow.
Nice job, Caden.
Also with Caden's tech fall count this year, he's 9 away from tying Jake Beamer for the all-time career for most tech falls. So he's got 2 career stats he's chasing right now.
Wow.
Well, with that pin, that puts Wapakoneta up 20-0 over St. Mary's, heading into the 132 bout, which Wapakoneta is going to send out Gavin right now.
Yeah, Gavin's receiving a void. Gavin's a junior this year. He was, again, district qualifier last year. He was actually 1 match away from going to state last year. And so, again, high expectations. He really wants to get down to that state tournament this year. And I know he's excited for the season.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't expecting to see that void there.
No, I know. I'm surprised. All right, Wapakoneta's going to send out freshman Lane Fisher against returning state champion Tate Hisey, a George Mason University commit, which is D1 NCAA for the MAC.
Wow. Yeah, Tate's pretty amazing. I mean, he had his 2 older brothers that were twins, a few years back that were both great wrestlers at St. Mary's. Their dad, Tim, is an assistant coach over there. And again, a big part of that program the last 4 years. And it showed last year when he won a state championship down in Columbus.
Hisey up quick, 5-0 on Lane Fisher. He's going to kick him out, go neutral, and see if he can add more points here.
Again, Tate's one of those wrestlers that's always in your face. He's very aggressive, always looking to score points. Great chain wrestler from one move to the next.
Lane's been getting to see a lot of good competition. He's down at GM. He did get to wrestle the current number 2 ranked wrestler in Division III at 138, and Antoine Adams from LCC, and then turn around and come up here with Tate. And actually, Tate, Hisey, and Antoine Adams wrestled last weekend at the Spartan Invitational, in which Tate ended up winning 11-2 on basically a 7-point move at the end to put him up 11-2.
So we were talking about earlier in the cast here, this, Lane, who's obviously a freshman, going to get the state champion. So, just knows that, hey, I just want to go out there and fight and, try to, stay off my back if I can and, keep this match as close as I possibly can.
Make him work for it.
Yes.
.30 seconds left in this period. It's 8-2. Hisey on top as he works to get this next takedown, putting him up 11-2. Looks like he's going to kick him and try to get one more before the period expires.
Yeah, 20 seconds here. I see Tate just coming after him. Tate's got those long legs and long arms for that weight class, and those guys are tough to wrestle against.
Mm-hmm.
In on a nice single leg here. Yep. Again, so with those point changes, you're looking at a score here of 14-3 just after 1 already, It's nice to see these points, making wrestling a little more exciting.
Looks like it's St. Mary's choice here. He's going to choose down, get a little bit of work from bottom. And immediately Wapak says they want to go neutral.
Yeah, he'd rather give up just one instead of possibly giving up a reversal and going to his back or something like that on some type of roll. So just give him one, start at neutral.
What's nice with all the new technology and whatnot, all of these matches are filmed by the coaches in the corner, and it's scored as it goes so kids can see things. It's really good for a freshman like Lane to be able to see that style of wrestling and the different things that Tate's doing. I mean, no better person to learn it from than a returning state champion.
Yeah, and so, getting right there with that takedown. Tate, finishes off with a tech fall there. Yeah, as far as the technology goes, especially at tournaments, you can sit down on a match and watch, on an iPad, all your matches and just kind of go through with a coach. And it's amazing with the technology you have. You can watch all your matches as soon as you're done.
Some good, some bad.
Yeah. I'll tell you, this guy up next is Gage Vaughn, who's a freshman. And, boy, I really liked watching him in the wrestling room this year as a freshman coming in. As a football player, I got in a few times at the end of the wipe-up games in the fourth quarter, and I could just tell he was an athlete. And I see him in the wrestling room, and he's gonna be a great one here down the road.
Looks like he's facing up against Dylan Fink from St. Mary's. He's a sophomore, placed third last year at the WBL tournament. So a little bit of experience going up against his freshman from Wapak. Looking at Wapak's lineup, they've got 5 freshmen in the lineup. Well, not tonight. Sorry, I take that back. Bishop's not in the lineup tonight, but usually when Bishop's in, you're running with 5 freshmen. That's a lot of young inexperience.
Yeah, considering there's only 2 seniors too. So that's what's huge is you think, wow, we only got 2 guys that are going to be leaving this program for next year.
So these guys getting a lot of good varsity experience at young ages. I'd say the future's bright for Wapak
and I think
wrestling.
that's kind of been good about our program is that, it seems like every year you're going to have 3 or 4 good freshmen and just kind of keep reloading that program, every year. So it's not heavy on one side or another.
And that becomes the importance of your middle school, your kids program, feeding into that middle school, and that middle school program getting as many kids as you can and building them up from there, and hoping that you're sending 10 to 15 kids their freshman year, and those guys can get them some mat experience, whether it's at some varsity tournaments or some JV tournaments and duels, and just work your way from there and just keep building that program.
When you talk about building the program, Nick, when you were running the junior high program those years, you went down to the state wrestling tournament, and you guys were state champs one year as a dual team. So again, feeding right into that program with the junior high program. So, I mean, people say, oh, you got a good wrestling program, but it starts from our kids program all the way through. All
Absolutely.
3 levels of our program are really, really strong. And, again, it goes back to, the leadership in the coaches that we've had and the people that have been around our program. So, again, Gail Miller and all his coaches and Brent down at the kids program through Beach, and when you and Alec were at the junior high, and I remember back in the day when I was a junior high coach at one time, and actually when I was a junior high coach, I had Brent Miller and some of those guys, and Aaron and Seth Bowersock and those types of kids, and again, that's what built this program.
It's very time consuming, but it's definitely rewarding. I'd say this is probably one of the most rewarding sports.
Well, after the first period, with this guy being the finishing third in the WBL last year, Gage is holding his own, got 0-0 score after 2.
Looks like it's Wapak's choice. We're going to take the referee's position, see if we can work to get one. Mark, in high school wrestling, is there an advantage of scoring the point first?
Definitely was it. In overtime, the sudden death overtime, as far as the first point scored in the match, yes. Yeah.
Okay, Gage Vaughn gets that early escape here in the second period, putting him up 1-0.
You don't really see that very often, but every once in a while, like a real tough match, maybe like a district semifinal, or something like that. And this year, with the way points are being scored, I don't know if you'll see any of that or not.
Right.
Yeah, but we're neutral here. Gage is doing a nice job of hand fighting, standing in a good stance. Just got to work a good setup here now, work for this takedown. As a freshman, it can be a little intimidating coming out here and, wrestling, guys that are juniors and seniors or upperclassmen as a true freshman. But, with the experience that these kids had and the many matches that they've done through our kids program and our junior high, they know what to expect when they go out there. So as a freshman, I think most of our kids, maybe, if they're going up against a state champion or something like that. But, in general, our freshmen that are in our lineup, they're have a lot of matches in.
Right.
Nice defense there. Now if he can just run his front headlock a little bit here, he needs to get off his knees and put a little pressure on top.
Well, you had mentioned earlier that sometimes you're telling a guy, go out there and don't get pinned. So in Lane Fisher's case, when he's wrestling Tate Hisey and they went neutral when Hisey went down, you saw Hisey at the end of that match, he was pretty upset with himself because he didn't get to 6. He ended with a tech fall, only got 5. And really, when you're looking at team point-wise this early in the duel, that's a win for Wapakoneta because that's one less point that St. Mary's can get on the board.
Exactly. Yeah, this is a nice, tough match here. 1-0 match, and 15 seconds to go. If Gage can fight off this shot attempt. Oh, he's got
it right there.
Yeah. Step around, get a 2 or 3. Keep fighting, keep fighting.
Oh.
Keep fighting, keep. Oh, nice.
There's 3.
Way to finish.
There's 3.
Nice job. Finish the match or the period off with a takedown.
Wow.
Goes up 4-0 here going into the third.
St. Mary's going to choose to go neutral with him with a 4-0 lead. That, conventional thinking might have been, let's go down, let's get our 1. Now we're down 4-1. You get a takedown, you're tied up.
Yeah. Now Gage just has to do a lot of hand fighting there. He's got to be in a good stance. You still want him to be aggressive, but he doesn't have to take any, dangerous take shots or anything like that. Ooh. He's basically in control right here.
And Fink just got hit with a stalling call, backing out. That's going to be really big as this match continues to go on. Getting tired. And
in this position, for Gage situation, a lot of times what you do is you try to get wrist control to, control that guy so he can't take any shots on you. Sort of, like I said, he's kind of playing defense right here. But again, he still wants to be aggressive. But it's his match to lose right here. I mean, he's wrestled really well.
Yeah, at this point, the best defense he has is a stance. Then just start hand fighting, take a few fake shots.
Yeah, see, like right there, I wish he would have snapped him down.
Yep.
Snap him down. There you go. Kind of finish up all with that, like putting your weight on top of him, kind of wear him out a little bit.
Now, he has to be careful because if he keeps doing that, he might end up hitting with stalling because you're kind of avoiding.
Right.
But he has one to give.
If he can snap him down to that front headlock, that's a good position where he can, burn a little bit of the time off too. 50 seconds left here to go. You just got to stay solid. Hand fight, circle, motion. There's a stalling call. But I don't really see the St. Mary's guy doing anything, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure that would have been more.
Yeah.
Maybe in this situation, a
circle.
little bit more, but not there.
All he's got to do is circle back in there. Now, there you go.
Oh, get your head out. Pop your head.
Boy, if you could have circled back in there, right there, an easy takedown.
Yep.
Okay, 28 seconds left to go. He's still up 4-0.
Both wrestlers with the stall call. Fink's going to be coming at him a little bit more to try to draw another stall call and get that penalty point, and then also try to get him off balance and score a takedown.
He's just got to stay solid here. If he gives up a stall call, it's not going to hurt him.
10 seconds left.
No throws. Come on, keep fighting. Turn the face. You don't want to be hip to hip. Nice, good finish.
That's a good win for freshman Gage Vaughn.
Yeah, returning placer in the league last year from St. Mary's, finishing third, and that's a nice upset right there. Nice match by Gage Vaughn.
And with that win, Wapakoneta goes up and the team scores 29-5. We're heading into this 150 match. It's kind of an anticipated match for Wapakoneta. What do you know on this one?
Kino is a move-in this year. He's coming in from us from Bath. I saw him wrestle last year in the junior high program. He's got some really good skills. He's very athletic, and I think he's excited to come to our program. I think we're excited to have him in our program. And, this is actually his first match, I believe, as far as varsity match for us. So he wrestled some JV matches. He had a hurt ankle early in the season. So this is his first varsity experience right here tonight.
It starts off right away with a quick takedown. I believe Kino, when he was at Bath, his previous school, he wrestled at the OAC Junior High State Championships. I believe he finished either third or fourth last season.
Nice little quick tilt there, just a 2 count. He's holding. Now there we go. It's up 5-0. Looking to control wrist. We've really worked hard on that in the last few years, of working more wrist control, either near wrist or cross wrist, working on tilts. Jason House last year was huge, tilting people all over last year. And I think a lot of our kids saw how, just by tilts that, you can win a lot of matches by tech falls and majors. Score a lot of points really quick.
Halfway through this match, Mendes takes an early 8-1 lead over, who's the guy here? Has he got Bruce? Yeah, Noah Bruce, junior from St. Mary's.
Yeah. He's doing a real good job of just riding him here, too. He's got that wing in right now.
Oh, if he catches that wrist, keeps that wing and catches that wrist, this match is over.
Might look for another tilt here.
For a tilt.
Yep, now if he can elevate that bottom leg up a little bit, just all he's got to do is get a keep. There's 2, 3, 4. There we go. Got a 4 count in.
It's going to put him up 12-1.
Boy, that's a nice first period right there. Oh, don't kick. Oh, he's going to kick him. 20 seconds. I don't know about that. Better get one. There we go. Nice action. That's the way. Hey, if you're going to kick somebody with 20 seconds, you better go get one.
Yep.
A little drag out here maybe.
Yep, sucker drag that out, and he can score quick.
Yep. Oh, come on, score.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, coming around the waist. Yep, nice. Can he get him on his back? Count back points. Oh, what's this guy looking at? Should have been 2 there.
At the end of the first period, it's 15-2 for this freshman Kino Mendes.
Getting a couple takedowns and, a few tilts, and, you're up 15-2.
St. Mary's choosing to go top. Be nice to see Mendes get 1, then take him down straight to his back here and get 6.
Yeah.
Try to do a little Granby.
Needs to work underneath that leg. He's kind of pulling it a little bit tighter when he pulls it to him. Little head swim maybe.
Yeah, Bruce is definitely high right now. If he shakes and grabs that head, keep shaking.
Needs to swim that inside arm out a little bit too. He can work his right arm through the body. Boy, this is going to be a reversal and maybe possibly with some backs. No, just a reversal.
That might be the match there. Yep. That reversal, that 2-point reversal.
Well, that's a way to start off his varsity career with a nice tech fall.
Absolutely.
Good start to his season then. Nice job.
And that puts Wapakoneta up 34-5 with that tech fall. Heading into the 157, looks like we're sending out sophomore Cash Benshaw for Wapakoneta, and Bo Hertenstein, a returning state runner-up for St. Mary's, who's a senior going to Wheeling University.
I know I talked to some of the St. Mary's coaches before the match, and they had I think they have some sickness going on in their team right now, and so they wrestled a few guys that might not necessarily be in the lineup. You're looking at the score at 34-5. Some people might thought it'd be a little closer at this point. Considering where St. Mary's been in our league in the last few years. But again, our program right now is starting to roll a little bit.
Yep. Hertenstein up early with 3-0 takedown. Go out of bounds. They're going to head back to the center here and restart.
Cash got some good varsity experience last year as a freshman. Got some matches in. So again, he's only a sophomore, and he's out there. Cash is one of those guys that it seems like he hangs around a lot of matches, and sometimes he'll come back with that win in the third period. Just by hanging out and keep wrestling. All 6 minutes.
Yep. With that kick out and this takedown, that puts us at 6-1 in this match. One thing you got to appreciate when you watch Hertenstein wrestle is just the physicality. I mean, he's constantly in your face, kind of like what Tate is, but he's just strong and constant moving. He's known for a little bit more of upper body wrestling, so he likes to throw and do things like that.
Yeah, just like on that lift and return, man, if he would have settled in, he could have had a takedown and back points, but he just kind of rolled through it.
It's a nice takedown.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to get some work in because he's not even really looking for back points off those takedowns.
Well, there's a lot to be said when we talked about conditioning earlier. Even in live matches, you go out and pin people in 20 seconds. What good's that really doing you? You're not getting those 3-period matches. And when you get later in the season and you're getting to districts and district finals and state, most of your matches are going to go 3 periods, and you got to be able to, with your endurance and whatnot, be able to survive that.
Yeah, Caden Mellott's a good example of that because, there's a lot of times you could have pinned a guy in the first period where we'd say, no, we want you just to work your technique a little bit, work your takedowns and your turns, and, go into that second and third period.
That year that we had the middle school state duel championship team, that was one of the things that we worked with during league duels. Nobody was allowed to pin in the first period. Yeah. You had to wait till the second, and depending on when it was in the season, we might have told the guys you're not allowed to pin until the third period.
Yeah, and it just makes those guys work a little bit harder, a little more chain wrestling. Instead of getting on to one specific takedown, you get that one takedown and you score and you pin a guy or whatnot. So.
At the end of one, it's 9-2, and Wapakoneta's choice. We're going to go neutral here, start on our feet, and see what we can do.
Cash has got to work on his defense here a little bit. He got to keep those hands down. He knows shots are coming.
He's got to watch getting flat-footed. He falls back on those heels a little bit. Someone like Hertenstein's going to take advantage of that.
Yeah, Bo's up at 157 right now, but I think the talk is that he eventually plans on going down to 150 for the state tournament run. So wrestling up, getting some heavier weight classes, and hopefully some tougher matches.
That's a nice single leg there. sitting at 15-3 score-wise. Hertenstein's going to kick bench off out and probably work to get another takedown and maybe look for those backs.
Yeah, but I think he's going to be happy just going to get another takedown, I think. Going to kick him out here again, probably. Well, maybe not. Maybe he's going to try to tilt.
So, like, here's an example of keeping some sort of body part is inbounds right now, and that clock keeps running. I mean, that's huge for everybody in this.
Just trying to get a quick count tilt there.
I know prior to this year there was a lot of reservation about that out of bounds, that college style out of bounds, because a lot of schools might have had to upgrade their mats and get bigger mats, you know, to support that, because once you touch the gym floor, it's an automatic dead whistle.
But it's definitely a plus for wrestling. It makes the action flow a little bit better. Again, you know, you're talking about scoring and time-wise of a match, and, you know, calling out of bounds, go back to the center setup. You know, just it makes the flow of the match so much nicer when they continue to wrestle out there on the edge.
That's a real good point.
You know, Cash is just right now trying to, you know, keep this to a, you know, 5-point match. And, again, you know, they're two best guys where you typically are looking for pins, you know, and we're getting away with tech falls, you know. So, you know, our guys might not have got the win, but they did what we wanted them to do.
Yep. And Hertenstein actually just got hit with a warning stalling here at the end of the period by the referee. Green's choice, St. Mary's going to elect to, looks like he's going to go down. He's up 14, so an escape ends, nope, take that back. He's going to go top. From the corner, the coaches were telling him, hey, 1 point, it's a tech fall, so they're looking for the pin. They want him to work on top and get that 6.
He's got that hammer lock. He had it earlier, but now he's trying to switch off. Now if he can come around and, you know, throw the half in.
Oh, he's got that wrist.
He's got to work that chest down underneath there. Yep, there we go. Now we've got to Cash do his job here and, you know, fight off that pin. Just keep fighting. If he's able to roll through, you know, save himself a team point. Like I said, Cash, early, you know, he's a fighter, so.
Yep. Well, Hertenstein registers a pin at the 4:51 mark in the match, bringing the team score a little bit closer. Wapakoneta still leads 34-11. One of the few seniors Wapakoneta's got with Dawson Ware, he's actually been wrestling 190 and has now made the trip down to 165.
You know, Dawson's been one of those guys that, you know, he was hurt 1 year, and then, you know, it's hard to get in the lineup one time, you know, Birdie Preezer and Nouse and Wyatt Buell, and, you know, he's finally got his senior year, and I think he's been pretty healthy this year, and kind of disappointed didn't get to see him wrestle tonight.
Yeah, because he was supposed to match up with Caleb Turner, who finished 6th last year at district, so it would have been a good measuring stick as to where you are at the 165 class.
This might be one of the better matches of the night. You know, Wyatt Buell being a state qualifier, and the Donovan kid, you know, I think right now is projected, 5th in the state? 11th?
11th, yeah. So, yeah.
So I can remember back when I think Donovan might have been like a sophomore or junior and, you know, had an upset win over Jace Nouse 1 year. And so, I mean, he's definitely a competitor and, you know, has some fight in him. So this might be one of our better matches of the night here.
Absolutely. Yeah, Wyatt Buell as a junior, he's a returning state qualifier. He's ranked 5th right now in the state of Ohio in Division II wrestling. And actually, looking at Wapak's lineup, you know, they have Zane Russell is currently ranked 7th after he knocked off the number 2 ranked kid and the number 7 ranked kid at the GM tournament. And Mellott's 4th, Gavin Ridenauer's 18th, and Buell's 5th.
Yeah, have 4 guys rated in the state. I mean, that's what Coach Rossford, you know, preaches in the room as far as, you know, we want guys being state qualifiers, but then once they're a qualifier, you know, it's being on that podium when you're down there. And we definitely have 4 guys that are capable of doing that this year.
And Dawson Ware is actually ranked 19th in the state at 190.
Yeah.
Oh, they go out of bounds there. Very dangerous. In that case, Buell was able to get under his arms to get a little bit of a bear hug going out of bounds there, but we're still neutral.
We knew last year when Buell was going to have a good season when we wrestled down at the state duels down at Columbus to Sales, and he wrestled the guy from Columbus to Sales, and had a big win there. And then we knew that Wyatt's going to be for real this year, and I think he was 2-2 down at Columbus last year, maybe
something like that.
Yeah.
Yep. And Barford, who he's 1-1 against because they're at the same district, I think is currently ranked number 2 in the state.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's right there. 42 seconds left in this first period. It's still 0-0. We're on our feet.
I'd like to see Wyatt be a little bit more aggressive on his offense here, push the pace a little bit more.
We always had a really nice high C, head inside single and a high C. Hopefully we can get that going.
He also has a nice little 2-on-1 that he's got, and then he's been shooting a single leg off of that as well. There he's looking for that 2-on-1
now. The Russian. They're both working to fight for that inside control right now.
Yeah, I'd like to see Wyatt circle. Yeah, there you go. Circle him to the out-of-bounds line. There you go. Nice.
All right, after one, it's 0-0. It looks like it's Wapakoneta's choice. We're going to choose down. We're going to start in the referee's position, see if we can get that early 1-0 lead, get some momentum.
This might be one of those matches you were talking about where who scores that first point. So, again, in this case, we're at 0-0 after one. A lot of times choose down to get that one first point. So, right now, he's leading 1-0.
He's got to keep his feet moving there. There we go.
There we go. Get to your
nice.
feet.
Come
Get
up.
to your feet.
Elevate it. Elevate it. There we go.
Around the waist.
Here, catch that ankle.
Come on, get your head out.
Keep coming. Keep circling it.
Work your head out.
There's 3. Nice takedown.
Nice. Donovan concedes and gives it up here. Now it's going to work. Wyatt was really good last year, working some wrists and working some wing tilts last year. See if he tries to turn him here. A minute to go here.
Yeah, Donovan being a senior is a WBL champ last year, district qualifier. I believe Brody Preezer finally got him at districts.
I think Brody beat him in the league tournament last year in the finals. I think Brody was WBL champ last year.
I cannot remember.
I think so. I think Brody beat him in the finals last year. Because I think it was a double overtime match, I believe. Buell's doing a nice job of keeping him down on his belly right here. We're going to work him and try to work that bottom guy as much as we can. He's working those wrists, trying to roll him through. And
Buell's got to get off those hips a little bit before he gets hit with that warning stalling, but it looked like he was having trouble of just Donovan just kind of balling up down there, and he kept looking up at the ref like, we got to make this
as long as he's on his belly, though, we can sit back on his hips, as long as we want, as long as he's not basing up. Because if the bottom guy doesn't base up, it's his job to work up through it. So.
Hey, on the season right now, Buell is 19-3. He's got 1 tech fall and 13 pins. He was second at the Firebird, champion of Coldwater, and he also placed 5th at the GM tournament. So he's been making some noise and working his way as well this year.
So just like we thought here, nice close match, 4-0. Buell's in control here going into the third period.
St. Mary's chose to go on our feet. Now, this is probably one of those times that going neutral down 4-0 makes sense because you just spent that second period on bottom and not being able to work up. So they're going to take their chances trying to score a takedown and probably kick them and get another.
Yeah. Instead of spending, 30 seconds trying to get out from the bottom and maybe wear yourself out a little bit, just take down with being 3 now makes it easy, You're only down 1, 2 when you kick him out. So
step up, turn in.
And he's got to rotate.
Yep.
Get your head up.
Keep circling left.
Okay,
there we go.
Work to
Climb
your
the
feet.
body.
Work to your feet. Work to your feet. Found a nice job there working the edge. Minute 20 here. Here he's got that 2-on-1. Let's see if he does something with it this time. He sets up a shot with it. Nope, now he's going to the underhook.
A lot of backing up there.
Now he's got to just drive through it. Drive through the shot. Drive through. Again, wrestling that. Oh, he should have been wrestling.
Wow.
Should have been continuing.
Yep. That was a quick whistle there.
Yeah, he still had the foot in bounds.
Yep.
Again, this is where I'd like to see Wyatt be a little bit more aggressive and taking it to him, you know. Be a little more physical. You know, you're up 4-0, but, you know, don't let the guy in the match. You know, just keep taking it to him. There we go.
Oh, he's got that nice under.
Now who's stalling? Okay, you got to keep working forward here. Let's go. Hand fight, snap down, motion, movement.
Be nice to get that 2-on-1. He worked from it a little bit faster, pulling that near leg to him.
Now he's just got to stay in a good stance, not worry about any throws, and he's good to go. Circle and bounds. There you go. Circle and bounds. Circle and bounds. Burn the clock. Stay right there, and you can just burn it. Yep. Nice job.
1 second left. Wyatt Buell's up 4-0 on Cole Donovan. The battle of the state ranks. I think this is the only state ranked match we've had tonight.
Yeah.
It gives Wapakoneta a 3-point decision, adding to the team score, making it 43-11, heading into the 190 bout.
Wow. 100 wins for a career for Wyatt Buell tonight. That's pretty awesome. Nice big match against a guy that's rated in the state. Nice big win. Congratulations, Wyatt.
He's a hard worker guy.
And he's only a junior.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So at the 190 class, Wapakoneta is going to be voiding this with the absence of Brody Preezer, you know, with injury right now. It's kind of left us with a little hole since Dawson Ware went down to 165. And that void gives St. Mary's an additional 6 points, making it 43-17 going into the 2:15 match between freshman Hunter Bird and Robert Williams, a senior from St. Mary's.
You know, after this win tonight, you know, I think the only really other match that we'll have in the WBL that will even be kind of close, I think, will be Van Wert. You know, Van Wert's got some really nice young-looking kids, and Coach Collins is back at the helm again. You know, he had taken off a couple years as the head coach, and he is back, you know, running the program again. He runs a pretty good, you know, program over there, and so I think that's probably going to be – Shawnee might give you a few matches here or there, but, you know, as you look at the rest of the schedule, I think, you know, we should be pretty good going in.
Yeah, I think Shawnee right now is tied with Wapak 3-0 at the top of the league, but I don't know who they've had. I mean, they could have, you know, wrestled teams that have a lot of voids, and, you know, we don't know what they've got.
Yeah, I don't know who they had tonight, but they had not wrestled Salina, Defiance yet, or St. Mary's, I believe. So, you know, they'll have some good matches coming up.
Right. And Shawnee's trying to build a program over there. They've got their kids program running. They've got well, I don't know if they still have the kids program going right now, but middle school, and they've got Colin Wise coaching, who's a Bath grad, coaching the varsity over there, trying to really get kids out, get them motivated to be in the sport, and trying to collaborate with the football coach over there.
As Hunter gets it put in the cradle here, he's fighting off his back. Just try to get a kick and try to break that grasp if he can. He needs to work
those hands.
Yep, but work the hands a little bit. Again, keep fighting, keep fighting. Nope. Now he's trying to work the elbow. Yeah.
Yeah, about a minute 29 into this match. He gives up that fall there, giving St. Mary's an additional 6.
Again, though, there's, you know, a senior from St. Mary's wrestling a freshman that we have out there in the lineup, you know.
Yep, absolutely.
Now, Johnny Carnes coming up to finish the match off here at heavyweight. It was nice to get Johnny back out last year as a sophomore. You know, freshman year he didn't wrestle after, you know, coming through the junior high program. So he was nice to get back out last year, and it's nice to see him out wrestling this year. I think having Logan Erb in the room this year will be a huge asset to Johnny Carnes and all the upper weight classes.
Yeah. And you know, I know Zayden Williams. He's the backup over at St. Mary's. I believe it's Matthew Murray's. Their starter Murray is ranked 19th in the state at the heavyweight. It would have been really nice to have that matchup tonight because that would have been a nice measuring stick for Johnny as the season progresses.
Johnny likes to work those underhooks, so he's trying to work inside tie and work himself to an underhook here.
Williams just hit with a warning stalling call.
Williams doing a nice job of trying to get that little snag single on him.
Yeah. There's a lot of movement early in this match. I mean, they're definitely going at it.
Oh, there you go, a little slide. Nice takedown for Carnes.
Yep, 3-point takedown. He's got to jump to the other side there, though.
Yeah.
Hard to run a half on the opposite.
He's got him on his belly now. It's just a matter of working a nice half here.
Yep. That kid's posting with his right. He can slide that in.
Needs to roll one of the wrists, get wrist control, roll it tight, drive into him a little bit. Come on, got to work down to a bait. There you go. Keep breaking him down. Again, let's just ride him out here. You got, 15 seconds. There you go. Got him broken down. Again, this is where we can burn some time off the clock right here on the edge of the mat. Finish the period, up 3-0.
He wants to run that power half. He's got to jam that head down, and he's got to shove that arm through and just grab one and start cranking. But it looks like he's trying to run it from the opposite side.
That'd be interesting to see what the St. Mary's choice is. Is he going to go down? No. He wants to take top, huh? All right. Johnny's going to have to move here from the bottom.
He's showing some really quick feet. So.
Yeah. You always want to try to get out as quick as you can from that bottom so they can't ride you out. It's been a nice escape there for Johnny to get neutral and hand fight now on his feet. Goes up 4-0.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised he got out that quick.
There you go. Work that underhook. Head position.
There we go. Jack him up.
Guy's going straight out of bounds. Going to have a call here maybe. Sprawl. Got a sprawl, Johnny. Got a sprawl. Put some weight on him. There you go. Go behind. Nice. All right, let's break him down flat and look for a turn now, Johnny.
Johnny Carnes sitting at a 7-0 lead heading into halfway through the second period.
Here we go. He's looking to run that armbar in half. Just be up under the arms right now.
There we go.
All right, he's going to go a little cradle action. Yeah.
Wow.
Get on top of him, catch that arm.
Yep. Get under that arm. He's got him. This match is done.
Yep.
Right there.
It's over. Should be over. Just settle in. There we go. Nice pin.
3 minutes and 15 seconds in the match. Johnny Carnes with the pin, extending the lead and wrapping it up for Wapakoneta, 49-23.
Hey, give a shout out to Coach Sullivan tonight. I saw him over in the stands. He, is a state qualifier for our program. Coached several years on the varsity program. Had an opportunity this year. They started a clay target club here at Wapakoneta High School, and he is the head coach of the clay target club here in Wapak. So, and they have 2 seasons. They have a fall season and a spring season. So he's a very good outdoorsman, and he got me into hunting, and I love the guy. And so give a shout out to Coach Sullivan and the clay target club this year.
I give a shout out to both these teams being rival schools in all sports and in the same county, cross-county rival here. It was pretty clean. There was nothing that got out of control or anything like that. Good sportsmanship between wrestlers and coaches and fans.
It came down to the 2 matches that we thought that they were really going to be the strongest. We knew Hisey and Bo, there were 2 state returning placers that was going to be the standout for them, and pretty much everything else went as what we thought would go. And again, for us to come back, after winning the WBL championship last year, and now we got Defiance out of the way, we got Saline out of the way, and St. Mary's, Shawnee and Van Wert will be coming up. So look like a good night for wrestling here at Wapakoneta.
I look forward to what the season's going to bring for both schools and really the WL in general. I think we're going to see a lot of guys down there in Columbus on the podium between the league in general, but here just between these two schools,
you're talking possibly 6 guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just shows you the wrestling that we have here at Wapakoneta, and then what Gail Miller and Dan Davies and Nick Samontinger and Beach and all these guys that have put time and effort into this program, and it pays off when you look at all those league championships up there and the number of years of state qualifiers in a row and state placers, and it's just credit to all the people that are involved, man. It takes a village, and we got great people here.
Yep, long-standing tradition here in the sport of wrestling. In the short period of time which wrestling existed in the WBL or as a school sport, it's probably been overall the most successful sport in terms of appearances down in Columbus at the state tournament and placements and league championships and things like that. I mean, the tradition continues, and it's all due to the hard work of these athletes and the commitment of the parents and the coaches, the community as a whole that supports. You come to a duel tonight, and really the reserve side of the gym was pretty full.
Yeah.
And even here on this opposite side, on our side, there was quite a few, besides the wrestlers, there was a lot of parents and people that have been associated between the two programs sitting on this side as well.
Yeah, so we want to give a thanks to Dan Wilson for coming out and setting us up tonight.
Oh, my pleasure.
We appreciate it, Dan. And
you guys did an outstanding
job. Check out Dan's YouTube channel, In Ohio Country Today. That's where, he had all the football games for the football season up there loaded up. So that's where you can also go and watch this wrestling match tonight. Also on TSC on Channel 3. And I
want to thank you two guys, Mark Law and Nick Samontinger. You guys did an outstanding job, and hopefully we can do this again real soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to our administrators tonight too that also showed up for supporting our program. We had Zane McElroy here tonight, our assistant principal, Brad Rex, our athletic director, and Aaron Rex, our superintendent. And we also had Mr. Samontinger and one of our school board members here tonight. So, and again, it's just not a one-time event. They're usually here all the time supporting our program. So I want to thank those guys.
Yep, absolutely.
And want to give a big shout-out once again to TSC. And you've been watching high school wrestling here on TSC. I'm Big Dan Wilson. Have a good night, everybody.
Tired of searching for the right tire? Then you'll be glad you found Miller Brothers Tire Service. If it's round, rubber, and rolls, we've got it. Lawn and garden, agricultural and industrial, and everything in between. Miller Brothers is your one-stop super shop for everything tires and wheels. We offer the best service around, and we're family-owned and operated. And you know what? We're still going to be here tomorrow because we're on our 2nd generation, and we've been here for 70 years. Give us a call or visit us online at millerbrostoire.com for all your tire and wheel needs.